great to be back in the Big Easy. Welcome to the weigh-in. How about a hand for our Octagon girls, Vanessa Hansen and Chrissy Blair. One of the best matchmakers in the world, Sean Shelby. Matt Evans bringing up the rear. All right, let's get things going. We begin with the UFC Fight Pass prelims. First up in the bantamweight division, Jose Teco Quiñones versus Leonardo Jimmy Morales. one, UFC Fight Night prelims. First up in the lightweight division, Joe Proctor versus Justin Bad Eddie Edwards. Justin Edwards. And his opponent is Joe Proctor. For Joe Proctor. For Joe Proctor. Our next bout is also in the lightweight division. Chris Wade versus Christos the Spartan Yagos. First fighter to the scale, please welcome Christos Yagos. For Christos Yagos. And his opponent, Chris Wade. For Chris Wade. All right, moving along now to the welterweight division. Brian Bad Boy Ebersol versus Omari the Wolverine Akhmedov. 171 for Omari Akhmedov. And his opponent making the walk for his 70th professional fight, Brian Bad Boy Eversole. 170 and a half from Brian Eversole. And that brings us to our featured prelim in the heavyweight division. Sean the Savage Jordan versus Derek the Black Beast Lewis. First fighter to the scale, born here in New Orleans. Please welcome the Black Beast. UFC Fight Night, first in the Bantamweight division. Cisco Rivera versus Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres. For Alex Caceres. And his opponent currently ranked number 11 in the world, Francisco Rivera. 136 for Francisco Rivera. We stay in the bantamweight division. Joe Soto versus Anthony El Toro Boetsch. 136 for Anthony Boetsch. And his opponent, he is the recent world title challenger, Joe Soto. For Joe Soto. And next up, we got a good one in the featherweight division. Thiago Tamores versus Brian T-City Ortega. decision, Ben Rothwell versus Matt Mitrione. For Matt Mitrione. And his opponent, ranked number 9 in the world, the King of Kenosha, Ben Rothwell. On the nose for Ben Rothwell. All right, 22 fighters down, 2 to go. It is now time to take a closer look at the 2 men who share the marquee for tomorrow night's middleweight main event. Take a look.
With Dan Henderson, it just takes one shot for him to take you out, and he still has that power.
Oh, huge right hand for Hendo! Dan Henderson has done it!
Anyone in the world knows there's going to be a big right hand looking to land on my chin the whole time.
Oh, goodness!
That's something that I've been training for since I found out I was fighting Dan. To beat Dan Henderson's going to be one of the biggest things I've ever done. He's been an idol for me. He's fought the toughest guys in the sport and beat them. He just goes in and imposes his will. And that's the type of fighter I've always wanted to be.
It's pretty neat, I guess, to have guys look up to you. It's not something I'll be thinking about when we're out there fighting. Tim's been around a little while now in the UFC. He's just a scrappy guy that you can never count out of a fight.
Tim Boetsch is a big middleweight who's been in there against some of the best guys in the division and has shown incredible durability. He showed that in the fight against Yushin Okami, which is one of the best comeback victories I've ever seen inside the octagon. It highlighted the kind of grit and determination that Tim Boetsch has. When you look at his style of fighting and Dan Henderson's style of fighting, I can't imagine how this fight wouldn't be a knockdown, drag-out war.
This is a unique situation for the fans because our wrestling background, some people might expect us to go that route, but I don't think we're going to.
Very aggressive strikes. Tim Boetsch with the comeback!
My ability to absorb punishment is better than his at this point in our careers, and I will finish it.
Boetsch gets the knockout!
Wrestlers are tough to fight, and I'm hoping that I can stop the takedowns and knock the crap out of them on our feet.
First fighter to the scale, the former Pride 2 Division champion, former Strikeforce champion, the legend Dan Henderson. For Dan Henderson. And his opponent making his 17th UFC appearance, his first UFC headliner, please welcome Tim the Barbarian Boetsch. 185.5 for Tim Boetsch. Official, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you right back here for the fights tomorrow night.
Both men pack one-punch knockout power.
A night of explosive knockout masters.
Tim the Bar